Shalom Yashara Allah, Shalom Yashara Allah, Kahala Yahweh, Bahashim, Hamashiach Yahushua, Bahashim Rakakadash. I'm back to you with another straight to the point moment. I've just been dealing with a little topic that's always been something that came across my mind whether once or twice, and is more prevalent to this day. You know, I learned about this back actually in third grade. My third grade teacher was from Russia. So she will often bring this up every now and then. She'll throw this in. And then as I got older in the 7th grade, I heard more about it when we studied, you know, world history and stuff like that. But this was one of the many things that stuck with me, you know, and that was the Warsaw Pact between Russia and its allies. You know, you always hear the brothers talking about NATO and their allies and going into the scriptures of prophecy with Revelation, but they never talk about the other end of the spectrum of who these nations could be. Now, yesterday, according to a media news outlet that I frequently watch, dealing with Belarus, which is actually part of the Warsaw Pact with Russia. And what's so important about NATO and the Warsaw Pact is that these countries are unified, meaning that if one of these nations go to war, that the other nations must also go to war because they've signed that pact, or that their so-called agreement to go to war if any one of those nations be threatened or in the threat of war. The same thing goes for Russia. This was an offset or a counter towards NATO. So let's get it. Warsaw Pact. The Warsaw Treaty Organization, officially the Treaty of Friendship, Cooperation, and Mutual Assistance, commonly known as the Warsaw Pact, was collectively the defense treaty signed by Warsaw, Poland. So a lot of brothers don't know that Putin himself is Polish. His father is from Poland, all right? Let's keep reading. Founded May 14, 1955, Warsaw, Poland, dissolved July 1st, 1991, which it never dissolved, because yesterday, Russia went and got two nations who are within the Warsaw Pact. Those nations declared themselves to be separate from Ukraine in their representation as far as like government policies. So they declared themselves separate from what Ukraine initiated. Its headquarters are in Moscow, Russia. Abbreviation WAPA or DDSV, which was brought up yesterday within this media news outlet. All right. So let's get the people or the countries associated with this Warsaw Pact. And I'll keep this one really short. This will be, a couple videos, 2 parts, but it's been on my mind, So let's see which countries are in there, all right? Let's look at it. All right, you got Poland, Romania, Bulgaria, Hungary, Czechoslovakia, Soviet Union, which Soviet Union is a combination of not just Russia, but some other countries, all right? East Germany. We know that Western Germany is part of NATO, but Eastern Germany is part of the Warsaw Pact. Albania, Latvia, Lithuania, Slovakia, the People's Socialist Republic of Albania, Germany itself. Oh, here we go, West Germany. West Germany. In May 1955, West Germany joined NATO. Let me read it again. In May 1955, West Germany joined NATO, which prompted the Soviet Union to form the Warsaw Pact alliance in Central and Eastern Europe the same year. Headshot. This is, you always got to know the components for all the allies in this war. You got to know both sides. You can't just speak about one side and not know the other. This way you'll better understand the wisdom when dealing with prophecy. And that was my biggest thing, before I go into, prophetic scriptures, I always get into wisdom so I don't go off. Because you got some brothers that will spit rhetoric, not necessarily read on their own, but they'll take and be spoon-fed by their so-called elders and not study these things themselves and ask for wisdom from the Most High. All right, let's keep reading. The Socialist Republic of Romania, Hungarian People's Republic, Polish People's Republic. What? Polish People's Republic. And the People's Republic of Bulgaria. So these are the countries part of the Warsaw Pact. All right, still to this very day. All right. Now, we had some changes, but again, this didn't necessarily change everything. As you can see that, Eastern Germany, Western Germany, reunification, that was literally done to try to offset Russia. So these things are it's like playing chess. They're basically playing chess with each other, man. But let's go get the scriptures. Give me Joel. Go to the book of Joel, chapter 3, I'll start at verse 9. All right. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Prepare what? Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. And so we see this prophecies being carried out, because we know there are more prophecies to be carried out in order for certain things to happen. We see these mighty men, these mighty nations of these mighty men have been raised up, and they've been drawn into war, which they're going to go to war because these countries have pact and alliances, which is going to pull them off in the war, which is prophetic. All right, verse 10, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. And these countries that have gathered together in these alliances with America and also Russia, these were weak countries at one point in time, but being backed by these stronger nations, they have become what? I am strong. Verse 11, assemble yourselves and come all ye heathen. Who all ye heathen? Who all ye heathen? And gather yourselves together round about thither, cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Verse 12, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there I will sit to judge all the heathen round about. And this is what's being prepared. A sacrifice. A sacrifice, man. I would even say the day of the Lord's sacrifice. Headshot. So the brothers that teach that, the law of sacrifice has been done away with, is a lie. You got many similitudes and literal scriptures that give heads to a sacrifice, whether it be amongst the nation of us, the Israelites, including the heathen as well. The day of the Lord's sacrifice. Let's get that. All right, the book of Zephaniah, chapter 1, I start at verse 7. All right. Hold thy peace at the presence of the Most High Yahweh, for the day of the Most High is at hand, for the Most High hath prepared a sacrifice. Let me read it again. For the Most High hath prepared a sacrifice. Let me read it again. For the Most High hath prepared a sacrifice. He hath bid his guest. And it shall come to pass in the day of the Most High sacrifice that I will punish the princes and the king's children, and all such as are clothed with strange apparel, which goes into many similitudes. So this will be the first segment. There will be another segment and probably 2 more segments, to be honest. All right, and with that, I want to give all praises to Kahalal Yahweh, Bahashem Hamashiach Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rakakadash, and death to America. Shalom.